Doug, what time is it?
Right now, my boy.
Right now, radio. We got
Yes, sir.
Mr. William Doug Barnett. He's a fellow ASU alumni. We were classmates together, and we're gonna kick it off today. He's the owner of Gumptown Podcast. So, let's start off. Tell us real quick, what inspired you to start Gumptown Podcast?
Yes, sir. Well, first things first, Shad, man, thank you for having me on your platform. I really appreciate the
Absolutely.
invitation, man. Looking forward to
Absolutely.
this conversation. Yes, sir. So what inspired me to start the podcast, 2015, that's when I first started listening to podcasts in general. I started listening to E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, his podcast, Secret to Success in 2015. That's when I first got inspired, first had the idea to start the Gumptown Podcast in 2015. However, I sat on the idea, didn't do anything with it, and quite frankly, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. Rode around 2018, the dream had been dormant for about 3 years at that point,
Wow.
and then it got sparked again. I was like, man, I'm going to start this Gumptown Podcast, and didn't do anything with it. Rolled around 2021, so I sat on this idea for 6 years, man, and secretly I was waiting on somebody else to start it because I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and had a little bit of imposter syndrome. I'm just being transparent, and
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
And in the midst of the pandemic, it just hit me one day, like, man, it's now or never. Like, just get out there and get started. And
Man.
listening to different podcasts like I Am Athlete, Club Shay Shay, The Pivot, and just hearing them guys tell their story, I was like, bingo, I got it. I'm going to start a podcast, speaking with people, connected with the Gump to tell their stories about how they got the business started. And here we are. Just dropped episode 93 last Sunday, 94 coming tomorrow. And we're going to keep rocking and rolling, my boy.
And it's been what, 2-3 years now? You say, how long has it been? We going 3?
Yes, sir. Episode one launched. No, sir. Episode one launched September 5th, 2021. So we're coming up on 2 years.
Wow, man, 93. Almost at 100.
Hey, man, got to get that, my boy.
You almost ready to drop a greatest hits album. You know?
Yeah.
You gonna be on Apple Music on the Gumptown Podcast Essentials. That's what you're gonna be on there.
Hey, I receive it, brother. I received that, man.
I'm looking forward to it too. So I've been doing mine for this will be my 6th month. I started mine in January this year. So I'm still in the early stage, but it's been picking up a lot. Getting a lot of new guests, a lot of different requests, and people from all different industries, from not only just in tech, but entrepreneurs, educators, city leaders, even celebrities. I was like, wow, they talking to you, boy. Yeah.
I see. Hey, I see you, and I want to give you your flowers at the gate, man. Hey, congratulations, and I wish you nothing but continued success with the Pyre, brother. I see you out here. Hey, you talking to comedians, you talking to tech people. You doing it all, brother. Proud of you, man, for real. And just out the gate, man. I know we both from Montgomery doing our podcast, but it ain't no competition, brother. Like, we in this thing together, man, for sure.
Oh, absolutely, man. Man, we've already chopped it up about a few little podcast growth strategies, I would say.
Yes, sir.
So, it's all good anyway, because we helped each other get out the BA. So
hey, look, if you know, you know. At Cobra, out the gate.
Yeah. I can relate to what you said about starting your podcast. Actually just executing. Because I sat on this idea for the last 3 years myself. Like, even when I was teaching, like, had an idea to start a business, start a podcast for the longest. Other people told me to. But I was just, not really geared in that direction. Yes, I'm not going to focus. I was scared to take the risk, actually. I was scared of it, I guess, failing. I had to owe these people a lot of money, be some debt I can't pay. I was scared of that, honestly. But after a while, Christmas 2022, I said, you know what, I'm about to just do it. I was sitting right into my man cave back here. I said, I'm about to do this. I watch TV. I'm about to go ahead and start this podcast. I'm about to just go with everything. I mean, why not? I don't think it'll ever be a time better than right now. As a Rite Now Radio.
Hey, my boy, already.
Because like I said, man, I don't want to look back 20 years from now and be thinking like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm just gonna do it now while I had the chance.
Right.
Yeah. So, both of us being from Montgomery, I attended St. Jude, you attended Lee. So I know we both seen different classroom settings, right? So I would like to ask you, what are some ways that you think we can retain more teachers in the school system? Now, I know one of them from experience. Uh, lack of discipline from the students and no support from the parents nor the administrators. How can we improve that?
To be honest with you, man, I'm not in the school system, so I don't want to necessarily speak for them, but just looking at the landscape of how things are versus how they were when we came up, and like I said, I could be completely wrong. It's just it starts at home, bro. Like it starts at home, and I'm not taking shots at parents these days, but when you and I were coming up, I'm sure your folks and my folks, it was just a standard set at home, like. You're
Yeah.
going to school, you're going to listen to the teacher, and you're going to get your work done. And I'm not saying students don't do that, but what can help the school system these days, it starts at home, man. In my most humble opinion, it starts at
It
home.
does. Because one of the bigger issues I'm seeing right now is no control over students now. You know, we had some bad kids in our classes too.
Right.
But let me just say, nowadays what I see like no control. I see like a royal rumble in the classroom. I mean, I see them just jumping out the top rope on each other and people's elbow, the teacher too, and it's
Right.
crazy. I'm like,
Right.
I'm like, man, this stuff did not fly. Matter of fact, we didn't even attempt that kind of stuff. But these kids don't
Oh,
have no
man.
limit. They don't have no limit now. I like, dude, and see, and as a result of that, when a lot of teachers report these kind of issues, even try to take action on it, it gets overlooked. People
Right.
up top and say, hey, don't worry about it. We'll get to that later. Guess what?
Right.
Later never happens. It just nothing gets done about it. They move
Right.
on to the next thing. As a result of that, the kids know they get away with anything. Then it goes on the whole school year. The teachers get fed up. And guess what? They leave education altogether. I can't take this no more. I'm just gonna get another job.
And
I mean,
to be honest
yeah.
with you, man, you see a lot of teachers transitioning, like you said, they're transitioning out of the education system.
Yeah.
They're transitioning over here into tech and just other
Mhm.
venues because at the end of the day, man, you going to work every day trying to make a difference, and these kids don't want
They
to hear
make
what
it
you got to
hard.
say.
They
It
make it
gets
hard
to
for you.
right.
Ooh.
It gets to a point where it don't make any sense, and then, like I said, then again. It's kind of public information, but not really. But teachers don't get paid the best either.
No.
And they got to deal with that nonsense. So at least if you're going to make them deal with that nonsense, at least pay them handsomely. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
Thank you. And I got, you know what? Another curveball to them not getting paid their worth or what they should be paid. How about retired teachers take less? Retired teachers. That's after like 30, 40 years of education. They make less than they made when they were working. They almost struggling in retirement. Well, they actually are struggling. I hate to say it.
Wow. Man,
Yeah.
that's
So, you know,
sad to hear, man.
I just heard like maybe last month, you know, like they got like a 2% raise for retired teachers. I'm like, oh, whoop de do. I guess I guess now they can buy milk and orange juice instead of just milk. I guess you know.
Man, it's right. Right.
That's how they doing. Oh, and now that now that it's a Juneteenth weekend, so we had a great conversation the other night. You know, some more fellow ASU alumni. I know you saw the trailer, but
I did.
I want to ask you this: how can more African American history be delivered in our schools? You know, moving forward. You know, like we want to make sure that the new generation is educated on Juneteenth. A lot of historical black towns in Alabama that are not covered by lakes. You know, teach them about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's say the Reconstruction period, the Harlem Renaissance. You know, I feel like more light needs to be shined on on those topics. So I guess like what I want to ask is that how can we actually move forward on that? You know, by educating our kids on that.
Man, that's a great question, man. And it's funny you asked that question because I was just at Chat and Chew this past Sunday. Shout out to Antonio Gavan and all he's doing with Black Men United. Shameless plug, just want to shout them out. But yeah, there was a gentleman there, and he said something so profound, and it made sense. Like basically, he was saying, to paraphrase what he said, I don't want to butcher his words, but to paraphrase what he said is, we have to stop looking externally for our community, our kids included, to be educated by them. If we know something, we have to educate them. We have to teach them. Like basically, you got to just share the information. Like I can't rely. I don't have kids yet, but I'm not going to rely on the school system to educate my kids about Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street. I'm not going to depend on the school system to educate them on these towns that are now lakes, Lake Martin, Lake Lanier. Like there's a lot of stuff that the school system won't ever expose to us. True. And it's all by design, man. They don't want us to really know the truth about ourselves, and that's is all by design. And also the school system has us thinking that we started as slavery. No, we were engineers. We were big time, man. Like we were royalty. And our start isn't we was in shackles. We was downtrodden, and they came and saved us. So to answer your question, in order for our kids to get better educated, to get more educated on our history, it's our job in our community to spread that knowledge.
I agree. You know what? I can see a challenge as a parent. You know, they're learning the history lesson in school. They're talking about, let's say, King Louis XIV, Robert E. Lee, for instance. They might hear about those stories. Well, you go and tell them about Juneteenth. They're like, what's that? And why? And also, why? And what are you talking? They might think you're crazy. They might think, you know, I'm just wondering, you know, I guess they might say, man, so I go, what are they talking about? Why he always talking about Black power? But you need to, you know, keep on enforcing that into them, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt. And to be honest with you, that's what you and I, we the same age. We came up in school in the 90s and 2000s, and the curriculum was every year, what we talked about, George Washington, Daniel Boone, DeSoto. Yeah. I mean, bro, I ain't hating on bro, but DeSoto ain't really, you know, he ain't my people's. Like I don't want to hear about him every year, but guess what though?
We find the truth about those people. They care nothing about Black people.
They care nothing about us, man.
And nothing about Black folk.
And an interview that I did with Keoka Tuck, shout out to her. I know you interviewed her as well. I was telling her, like, my perception of presidents changed once I know that you own slaves. Like, you weren't really down for us if you had us in shackles at one point in time. So let me so also, like, just talking about those, the presidents, the Soto. However, these kids need to know about Reginald Lewis. He's the first Black billionaire that none of us really even know about. We think it's Oprah. We think it's Bob Johnson. Reginald Lewis.
Tell us, tell us a little bit about Reginald Lewis.
Well, without looking at my phone, because I don't want to be rude, but yeah, like first Black billionaire. I know he's associated with a company. It's called Beatrice something. I don't know the full name, but he wrote a book. It's called Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? So I would say Google that and you'll get a chance to read his story. That's his autobiography, like Reginald Lewis, man. And the reason I know about him is listening to music. Nas mentioned Reginald Lewis on a song called We Are Not Alone on his album. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how we have to educate our youth. Like, we have to introduce them to these things, to these people, to these artists, to this art, man. Like, so to answer your question, I never expect the school system to ever really pivot and shift gears and really teach people who look like you and I our real history, man. They're going to always give us this, you know, this watered down, like, oh, we came and saved y'all. And I don't have no issue with any race. Let's put that out on the record. I just want my people to be, I want my folks to be properly educated. So my bad, man. I ain't mean to get long-winded, but it's a lot of...
No, you good. No, that's
what we need to get a little passionate about that, man.
That's what we need to hear, man.
Right.
Yeah, but one thing that I really hope that they incorporate now, I hope they incorporate Juneteenth more going forward. I want them to just write off the 4th of July, you know, but I want them to tell the truth about Juneteenth. I really do.
And let's talk about that, man. It's interesting, 4th of July, right? So we look at 4th of July, it's celebration, Independence Day, and it has a part in there where it talks about all men are created equal. Now, I want you to look at the date the independence, the Declaration of Independence was signed, July 4th, 1776. Juneteenth, our emancipation didn't roll around to 1865. So if my math serves me correctly, 1776 was before 1865. So all men created equal. Who they were talking about, my boy? But we can go ahead. Next question.
But you know what though? Matter of fact, man. shout out to Brandon Gordon. He mentioned the same thing. He said like those years just don't add up. They take you in circles. Those years they go from let's say they go from like 1910, 1765 to 1865. They take you round and round. You'll get confused. That'll confuse anybody. A young person or an older person. You like, wait a minute now. You just said that. Now you saying, yeah. And then
I mean, yeah, man. Yeah. And that's just what it is, man. So yeah, Juneteenth should definitely be incorporated. Like it should be taught. It should be. They just made it a national holiday not too long, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, it took it that long for that to come to fruition. But
from 1865 to 2020, when it got when it became a holiday in Alabama, to 2020.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's a long time. Those are great ancestors.
Right.
Yeah. So and then speaking of people like Reginald Lewis, okay, you have a lot of heroes like him who don't get mentioned hardly at all. Like Kyoka mentioned somebody. There's another guy. His name was James T. Rapier. All right. So James T. Rapier, he was a congressman. He said, "Half free, half slave." I believe. He has a autobiography as well. So he was just making sure that the bill got signed from an act of Congress, so that ensuring that we could not be intimidated in the workforce, our people. So and guess what? He's actually, I think he's from Tuskegee.
Right.
I believe so. So you have a lot of people that come from this, from right around the Tri-County area, who made a great difference, and they never get recognized.
Right. So I had to go do some research real quick because it was gonna eat away at me. So Reginald Lewis, he built the company called TLC Beatrice International Holdings Incorporated, and in '93, Forbes listed him with a net worth of $400 million. However, TLC Beatrice International Holdings was $1 billion company. So just to piggyback on that, and yeah, like and he's not talked about. And like I said, and even the gentleman you just talked about, I'm had to look him up as well, because these, like what you and I are doing right now, this how our kids are gonna have to get educated. We're gonna have to have these conversations. Like we can't rely on these textbooks, man, because if that's the case, our kids, our grandkids, our great grandkids, all they gonna know is George Washington, DeSoto, and them other guys. They need to know more about George Washington Carver. That's what they need to know about.
Thank you.
You know what I'm talking about? And
Booker T. Washington.
Booker T. Washington. But I went to Robert E. Lee, right? Let me tell you something about Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was in school, they never told us the real story about who he really was, right? But as I got older, I realized I was like, man, Robert E. Lee went down with us, man. He was the ops, man,
He was. Actually, you know what? The three other schools that these schools are named after, they were the ops as well.
Right.
JD, Jefferson Davis, Sidney Lanier, dude, and Sidney Lanier was a character. He was a poet, so he had a way with words. He was a character though. Right. Yeah, man. But I think Joe Watch Carver, the only one who they got it right with. The only one.
Joe. 1,000%, man.
But guess what? That's actually changing now. So starting that school year, Lee's gonna be renamed JD and Lanier. Well, I said Lanier about to merge with Carver, but like I said, JD and Lee gonna be renamed by some of the. You know what? They're educators, because they taught at ASU back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Hey, it's time for change, man. Yeah. Time for change, man.
Hey, well, it's been time, but I'm really glad people are starting to, actually recognize a lot of these topics now, because it's so long overdue. Like, speaking of, I mentioned about the King's Canvas, because when Kevin King came on, he mentioned something. There was a gentleman. He's buying his almost 80s now. He lives over there behind Oak Street. But, when the King Canvas was built back in, 2017, 18 somewhere, he was just so thrilled because he never thought that any type of business or venue would appear back on the west side during his lifetime. Because he saw about a 30-year drought, just nothing but chaos over there. You know what I mean? Business is just running away, and now it's being revitalized finally.
Right.
And I'm glad to see it too. Being I grew up on that side of town, So
Right.
it's really great to see that.
Hey, and
Yeah.
shout out to Kevin King and what he got going on with the King's Canvas, man.
Right.
Like hey, he over there on the west side making the difference, making the impact. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about, man.
You have many people like him. Rashard Prover, by the way, he's the owner of Prover
Yeah.
Print. It's a lot of other people. I can't get all the names right now because
Oh
I
yeah.
got my wheels turning. But yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, and to be honest with you, like those gentlemen, us and several others, man, we're trailblazers in our own right because
we
we
are.
just we want to leave our mark, we want to leave our legacy, we want to make a lasting impact because the Gump has this reputation of being, people move away, they say it's this and that's that.
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah,
let's be real. Let's be real, Shy.
yeah.
You and I have both traveled throughout the U.S. and even
Mm-hmm.
overseas. Everywhere you go, you have good sides, bad sides. Like Montgomery ain't the worst city in the world, bro. Like I ain't saying this. I ain't saying it's the best, but it ain't the worst.
Not even close, man. It's not even close to being the worst. It's really not. And you know what's funny about that? When you travel across to the northeast or the northwest, you say from Alabama, they light up. You from Alabama? What? They like, I'm like they like you said you from another planet, but people from Montgomery don't seem to feel that way.
Right.
They like, man, I'm in Montgomery, man. I don't want to be here, dude. Montgomery is really thriving. And you open your eyes. And then just look beyond those two traffic lights I'm gonna hang out at. I mean, it's
exactly. It's a lot.
You look downtown. You look at Eastchase. You look at right here in Cloverdale. Well, over in this area, like, dude, it's a lot of good restaurants, like Chuck's, for example. Man, that's the spot. But yeah,
right. And to be honest with you, what you just said is so key. Like, you got to get out of your own little bubble. Like, Montgomery is a beautiful city. It's historic. You got all these great restaurants, like you said. You got Chuck's, and then you got the water park that's about to open up by Maxwell Air Force Base. Like, the city growing, man. The city growing.
Yeah. So like I say, man, they'll have to see that. And
right.
I take it back to when we first started our IT career back in 2011, right? So how we thought about leaving there and moving far away from Montgomery, never coming back. Now, did that come true for either one of us? Nope.
Man. Hey, but I want to give you your flowers though. You actually left the city. I never left the Gump, man. I was always fortunate enough to land roles that allowed me to stay put. But man, you went out to the SIP, so at least you did leave and flap your wings for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm getting at is that like we didn't just leave the city for good and never come back. That wasn't really.
Oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, you came back home. Yeah. You were
that. We were able to expand. But what I'm saying is that we became trailblazers, from right here in our area. And you think about now, speaking of our ancestors, like they gave their lives from Selma to Montgomery Marshman. That's another history lesson point I want to make. They gave their lives through Bloody Sunday, the whole bus boycott, even the period before that. Okay, so just so we can have the kind of careers we have.
Exactly.
Just so so we can travel to Alaska and Guam and what's the island out there near but anyway, I can't say that on here. But yeah. Anyway, like I say, man, travel to those different parts of the world.
Yes, sir. I mean, definitely, man. Like, just like, and if you travel enough, man, you're gonna see. Like Montgomery, just like you go anywhere, man. Like I've been places like Philly, New York, Miami. And no matter where you go, man, you got good sides, bad sides. So when people say Montgomery this and that, Montgomery is a historic city. And shoot, like you just said, what our ancestors went through, going through Selma, the Montgomery March, and just all the beatings that they endured, man, it's my obligation, it's my duty to trailblaze right here from the hometown. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And see, like I say, man, where if I go, I'm gonna make sure I throw on an ASU or St. Jude shirt every chance I give people can see it.
Gotta know that.
Yeah.
Gotta know that.
So with our ancestors, they told them, don't you dare pick up a book and read. Don't you dare pick up a pen to write. You know what they did? Open that book right there. I'm gonna read anyway. So, threatened their lives, okay? Told them they were gonna beat them and beat the kids, whatever. They still
Right.
said, I'm gonna read.
Right.
But now today, these kids don't want to read. They make every type of debate or argument. I don't need to read because I'm this and that. No, dude, you need to open that book and learn something. You need to have these conversations.
I agree because, quite frankly, a lot of these kids now, and I blame. Well, I'm not gonna play the blame game. I'm just going to state a fact. You have social media, right? So a lot of these kids, they all think that they're gonna be TikTok stars or they're gonna make it big off social media. And let's be real, all of them won't. Like, it's just not in the cards for everybody to do that. So to your point, they should embrace reading, educating themselves, like learning something new. Learning something new every day, man. Like, even at 35 years old, Shy, I make it my duty to learn something new. It don't matter if it's something silly, man. I don't care if I learn what a food is actually made out of. If I just learn something new, one thing new that day, I'm like, man, I'm getting 1% better. And these kids don't want to learn, man. All they want to do is go live and then blame. They want to go live. They want to do wild stuff. They want to tell on themselves and then say people hate on them. No, you telling on yourself, bro. Like, put the phone down. Put the phone down and go read, man.
Thank you, man. And you know what? They like to use YouTube for reading now. They like, I still go check the source, even on YouTube. You just do.
Sure.
You know, check the source and who's putting the information out there, and you know, you see how valid it is.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you. So, you know, over the next year, what's the vision for Gumptown Podcast?
Man, the vision for Gumptown Podcast is just continue to have conversations with people connected with Montgomery. Also transitioning into doing video podcasts like you came out the gate doing. So I respect that, man. Like, I'm about to really get my video production on point and start doing video podcasts. And guess what, Shy? I'm just crazy enough to believe that this thing about to be a household name. And I'm sure you feel the same way about Rite Now Networks.
Absolutely.
You gotta
man.
believe it, man.
Dude, I watched the BET Awards, man. I saw myself up there. I did. I saw myself going on stage, man. Shake hands with Mary J. Blige, Taraji. You know, say, hey, thank you for my award.
Why not, man? Why not? Why not? Why not? So my vision, like, man, just stay consistent, man, and just take it worldwide, man. Not just for me, like for the Gumps, for the city. That's why I named the Gumptown Podcast, because I want to put on for the city, and I want people to look at Montgomery in the correct light. I don't want them viewing Montgomery as some rundown, downtrodden city, man. Like, we got a lot of greatness connected with the city, like yourself, brother. So that's the vision for Gumptown Podcast.
Hey, man, and you too, and the many other great ASU alumni from all different colleges and high schools around here too. You know, some great individuals that I can think of, even out in my classmates. So, you know, another thing I like to do, like you, I want to have more live episodes. You know, kind of like you see on the Knucklehead podcast with D Miles and Q, how they have the podium, the table with Grant Hill. You want to do just a live episode. We can cover we'll be actually at the Juneteenth parade next year, for instance, right? Be downtown, interviewing a lot of people, you know, taking part in all the festivities and all that good stuff. So, you know, that's another part of my vision for Rite Now Radio. So yeah,
okay,
you know, that'd be great.
You gonna make it happen, man. Why not?
That's it.
Why not, man? Yeah, man. So, I mean,
okay, no, I thought you were about to say something else.
Oh no, I'm just saying, man, like, that's a great vision to have, man. Just keep going, bro. Like, it ain't nothing you can't accomplish. It's just a matter of just just continue to learn, evolve, and just educate yourself, man. Like, honestly, I'm about to, and I'll share this with you. Like I said, I'm all about collaborating. I'm not trying to compete with nobody. I'm about to start really being intentional about attending, like, I know Spotify did a podcast and masterclass recently. I missed it. I'm about to start getting more intentional about just educating myself, because if I'm going to take this to the level of a Knuckleheads or I Am Athlete or a Joe Budden podcast, you're going to have to make sure you putting out top quality content that people even care to watch, because you won't become a household name if you don't make enough people care about what you're talking about. So.
See, and in order for others to believe your brand and what you're doing, you have to believe it first. And I just had a conversation with a coworker like just Thursday. He was like, "Listen, you know what? It's never easy starting. All right, when you just first putting it out there, you might not get no attention, no likes, anything. But we talked about this too. The likes don't mean nothing. Look at the analytics. You see people, you see who's watching, who listening to you. Yeah, I mean, they see you. They see you.
Right, and that's just what it is, bro. Like this conversation you and I had offline, man. Like, don't watch the scoreboard. Just keep putting out the content, because it's gonna take off eventually. Because it's gonna take off, and that's just what it is.
Just like playing sports. Don't look at the scoreboard all game, because the dude will run right past you. Like,
exactly.
He'll run right past
man.
And you have to stay focused. And like I say, once your platform builds up, that's when everybody comes out. Even the people who didn't even believe in you. But you got to handle that with grace too. Don't have such a negative attitude. Oh man, you want to rock with me. Okay, they probably still don't, but you got to handle that with grace. Yeah.
You want to know what's funny about that shot? What you just said in terms of I just speak from my own experience. You want to know what's funny about that? Like, a lot of times nobody has yet to tell me that I couldn't take this to the next level with a household name. A lot of my hindrances, a lot of things that's held me back in my life, isn't somebody saying it to me. They may have said it about me, but they never said it to me. But a lot of the times where I've been held back in my own life, it's been me versus me, man. So even if somebody out there don't fool with me, I don't hear it. And even if they don't fool me, I don't care. And even when I do take this a household name and they finally come out and they reveal, hey, I don't fool with you, I'm be like, thank you. Like, I appreciate you, man. Like, thank you, man. Like, seriously, like, don't force yourself to like me if you don't.
I think that's the best answer that you just gave. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
You really helped me get to my destination. You helped me really improve my focus here.
Exactly, because the most important thing,
eliminated another distraction.
Yeah, man. And like, I just want to give you this tidbit, man. Just continue to be you. Like, don't ever get on here trying to talk proper and try to talk like you from up north. Like, bro, we from Alabama, bro. Like, just be yourself, man. Like, straight up. Like, check it out, Shy. I'm country, man. I'm professional. I can sit in the room and talk with C-level executives. I can go and guess what? I can go talk to C-level executives. I go to homecoming and shoot the breeze with people I went to school with. So, like, just be you, bro. Like, don't ever try to, man, be you, man. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, you're right, man. And honestly, I don't think I was ever good at pretending to be somebody else outside of me. I just didn't sound right. I just didn't even sound right, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So, another thing. So, like you said, being intentional about going to the Spotify training. I want to do that as well. But you know what? I just went to Render ATL conference last month. Ooh, that's another thing you need to get into. Like those big networking events like that, you're gonna meet people from tech professionals from all over the world. Like Jet Magazine was there, Cisco, Microsoft, AWS, Northrop Grumman. But a lot of entrepreneurs were there. I met a guy. He's from Taiwan. He has an AI real estate company. That's huge. Wow. Yeah, so you're gonna make some heavy connection. Now, another opportunity I'm gonna get into, Afrotech is in November. It's gonna be in Austin, Texas. I'm looking at going down there for that. That's another big one. So I want to do more things like that as well. And guess what? You can set up the pod there, have some live episodes with them. That's another great networking platform boosters. I know I said a lot there, but
hey, guess what? Like, in short, basically, Shy said he outside. He going outside. He about to get outside with it.
I am outside, bro. I'm going to stay outside. Yes.
I mean, to be honest with you, that's been inspirational watching you. I mean, to cut you off, that's been inspirational watching you get outside. And like, that's actually something that I'm gonna do more of myself. Just getting out, man. Just networking, just shaking hands. Like, it's all good.
And honestly, man, I found some of my best. I made some good relationships out there, man. They came with me. We just clicked. we just clicked, man. It was dope. I was like, wow, this is what I need to
Nice.
do.
Yes, sir. Already.
You got people, man, who you don't know somebody who actually want to help you. They already, and then the cool thing about it, they already knew about me. Some of them, I was like, what?
My boy.
They already knew about your boy. I
Hey.
said,
Hey. My boy, he's known in different area codes, my boy.
they said, I know you. I'm for real. They said, I know you. I said, I thought you finna joke. They said, I look like, I don't know, they about to joke on me for real, but I thought, he said, no, man, you said, you Mr. Right Now.
Yeah.
That's why I named my Twitter, Mr. Right Now.
Hey, guess what? It's funny you say that because being from Montgomery, we always prepared for somebody to try to strike, man. We gotta be prepared.
Yeah. Hey man, that's childhood trauma was being at the lunch table. Sitting at the lunch table, man, you waiting on it. Like I got a joke. I got a joke today. You know, stand in line to get lunch. You know, they joking on you.
I'm telling you, like going on, man. I see you. Oh, man.
Hey, the hands go up like this.
Hey, man. What a time, my boy. What a time.
I don't know the kids do that. I don't know the kids do that now. I don't know how they joke now, but yeah, oh man, like, and then they start grabbing your shirt, your shoes, and
man, yeah, man. Hey, I'm talking about, bruh. Especially when I got to high school, like, man, them cats, they were joking at a different level, man. I mean, I'm talking about, man, you come in there, man, they be like, what is that shirt made of? Is that velvet? Is that wool? I mean, them guys used to roast, man. And guess what? You just stood there and just laughed at yourself. Why they crack jokes on you, man? It was good times, bro.
And then you start kind of learning how to joke too, just feeding all them.
Exactly.
You start just kind of finding your way. Cause like we had some singers my freshman year, like from third period going to fourth period, they on this end of you be scared to walk by them, you know it's coming.
Yeah, like going on, I see you. Like come here, like, man. Hey, you know what though? And I don't know how it was at the man. I don't know what it was at the how it was at the Jude, but I know at Lee, man. Like all you hear somebody say is they'll say, H&R, Doug, I see you. Step into my office, my boy. Like, oh, golly.
All I know, they just get, man, you know, they hit you like this. It'll get quiet, right? It'll go from talking, how we are, and it'll just get quiet all of a sudden. They're like, hey, boy, come here, boy. you know.
Hey, and to be honest with you, when they call you out, go ahead and get roasted there, because you try to avoid it. When they catch you that next time,
man, look. And then on top of that, see, like you had to joke too. See, some of the girls could joke. Yeah. When they get to laughing, it's even worse.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Guess what though, Shine? I'm gonna tell you though. I'm gonna tell you who you never wanted to be while the joke was going on. You never wanted to be the guy who was laughing too hard, because hey, my boy, you laughing? Hey, like, man, you laughing a little too hard there, my boy. You good? Like, oh man.
No, bro. And then on top of that, when they get on you, two more coming at you. Oh, boy, hold on, boy, what you laughing at?
Hey, you know what though? Hey, you know what though? And it's crazy, like just learning that, like how those skills translate into the job. Think about it, like those that's on the job training. Like you learn very quickly. Like, don't do that. And then you kind of
it really is, especially in our field of tech, because see how you know how say it's like you don't know the answer to a question. So by one person trying to highlight that, somebody else behind you saying, "Oh, you don't know what that is."
Right.
But now you know how to come back.
Exactly. So learning how to pivot during them times, man.
Like, man, come on.
Right. Yes, sir. You crazy, man.
It's funny,
crazy, my boy.
You know, I was already stealing anyway, so you know that made it even funnier. So yeah.
Already.
Man,
already.
Let me ask you, so you could pick one historical figure. It could be anybody from past to present. And you wanted to, sit down and have lunch with them. Who would it be?
Man, that is a great question. And just off the top of my head, I would probably I talked about him earlier, man. I was sit down with Reginald Lewis, man. Like him being
Okay.
first black billionaire, I would sit down with him and just really just
Mm-hmm.
ask him different strategies, ask him just ask him how and what resources he used to get to that point. Because when you're a billionaire, man, just at least from my own perspective,
Mm-hmm.
man, you can make a great impact, man. Like you can really help a lot of people get jobs. You can bring a lot of change to the
Mm-hmm.
city. So I would say Reginald Lewis. But if I want to go way back a little farther than that, I would Malcolm X. Like Malcolm X
Malcolm
was
X.
he
What
was a
would you
militant
ask
dude.
Malcolm? Like what's one thing that you would ask Malcolm about? It's just anything, right? Like what's something you want to talk to Malcolm about?
Man, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even ask him anything. I would just commend him for being 10 toes down and standing on what he stood on because
Mm-hmm.
he he ultimately died for it, man. I would just thank him if I had a chance to have
Mm-hmm.
a conversation with him, man. Like I wouldn't even know what to ask him because I'm gonna be real with you, Shy. Like anybody that's willing to go out there and sacrifice their life, like if you're not on that level to where you got something that you would a cause that you would die for, I don't
Yeah.
even know if I would even have the right to even ask him any questions. I would just be like, man, like
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. You know he willing to give his life over for just being so radical. Standing
Right.
no matter what, I'm gonna stand on my principles, right? And
Sure.
that's who he was. Yeah. Now another person come to mind like this, Muhammad Ali. All right.
Facts.
He was the
Facts.
same way. I mean, he was a heavyweight champion, and he said, "Listen, I don't care nothing about this belt. Y'all not gonna take me to fight a war that I don't have nothing to do with." And he
Exactly.
stood on that.
And like let's add some context to that. He basically said, I'm not about to go fight for a country that ain't fighting for me. Like that's
Oh yeah.
basically what he said.
Mm-hmm. And then how he supported Bill Russell during his time of
Mm-hmm.
playing. I was like, wow,
Right.
these some strong men.
Right,
Yeah,
man. And
yeah. I watching Bill's story. How he stepped away from basketball to become an activist. How he
mhm.
said, I done enough in basketball. It's time me to impact the world in other ways besides just playing ball. And, I was like,
Right.
wow, yeah. I know somebody else that I would say Stevie Wonder.
Ah, man.
Stevie Wonder. Cause
Like,
see, I said it because I would love to know, although he's blind, but I would like to know how does he view the world? Like how, like what type of things has he experienced or endured? Kind of just understand like his perspective on things. I know he made some great music. How
yeah.
he was able to express himself, through music so well.
Man, you know what? Like Stevie Wonder, one of the most gifted. Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, those two of the most gifted people ever lived. Because how
Yeah,
are you blind, but you have the vision to create beautiful music? So
yeah.
I can
And
understand
then
why you want to sit down with Stevie Wonder
and then
just to ask him that.
some of the love stories he told. I said, "Wow, he know how to treat women better than I do. He can't even see her." I mean, I ain't trying to be funny,
Hey,
but
no, it's all good. Hey, man. He probably, hey, man. As we saw in the Ray movie, he probably was rubbing that wrist like my boy Ray was. You know what I'm saying?
he can tell by her hand how fine she is. Like I was
Hey,
like, "Damn, Ray,
hey man,
damn,
I
Ray."
don't know how they did it, but hey,
Yeah,
salute to the legends, man. I ain't,
yeah. I'm
hey,
like,
salute to
boy,
them.
he could tell by how soft her hand was. Like, yeah, Ray, you serious?
Hey, next level.
Top tier, I would say. Top
Hey,
tier.
yes, sir. But yeah, man, Stevie Wonder, man, yeah, man, that'd be a great conversation,
Yeah.
man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so then those stories, 'cause they gave a lot of life stories, just about
Right.
how we discussed today about continuing on your journey, just stepping out, just like I said, stepping outside your own mind and not letting anybody hold you back either. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, sir. No doubt.
Yeah. So man, as we begin to wrap up today, I guess tell us real quick, like if you weren't working in tech or had this podcast, what could you see yourself doing?
Man, if I wasn't in tech or doing the podcast, let's see, what could I see myself? I would, man. That's a great question. I never thought about that, man, because I had
Yeah.
a love for tech since I was like 13 years old. Like I knew I was gonna work
Mm-hmm.
in some type of
Mm-hmm.
capacity working with
Yeah.
computers, but like if I just had to throw something out there,
Yeah.
I would be man, I was never good enough to play professional ball, but I would be tied in with like
Yeah.
the NFL, like in some sort of capacity,
Yeah.
like being like a a water boy game manager. They make good money now, so don't laugh too
Yeah.
hard now. But
Nah,
yeah, I
they
would be.
do. They do. But honestly, though, I mean, they do. But honestly,
But
though, I can see you being some type of coach or coordinator. I could now.
yeah, or that. I mean, or
You
that.
know,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a recruiter. You might be a college recruiter or something. I can see that.
Like it would be something dealing with sports, man. Like it would be dealing
Yeah.
with like some type of some dealing with professional sports, whether it's or collegiate sports, whether it be a recruiter or some
Mm-hmm.
type of assistant coach. But yeah, cause I got a love for sports, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
I wasn't very good at football, but I did love the game while I played
Of
it.
course. Yeah, man. I'm gonna say now for me, I think I'd be tired with sports too, but I think I still be work with kids some kind of way,
Okay,
some type of way. Whether it be teaching or coaching. That's what I think I'd be doing.
okay.
Yeah.
No, no doubt, no doubt. Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of sports, man. So so the NBA Finals just passed, man, and my Heat, man. Hey, my Heat got gentlemen swept. Hey, so
Man.
I want to ask you this, man. Like, not to be
Yeah.
prisoner of the moment, and man, it's
Okay.
crazy. Like, this your show when I'm asking you questions. My
No, go
apologies,
ahead, man.
man, for
Go ahead,
taking
go
over.
ahead, man.
So, Joker, man, like just in terms of players that you've seen, and I've been watching basketball
Tough.
since
It's
'99,
tough, bro.
2000. Like, really following it. Like, as far as like big man, I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, man. He's one of the best centers I've seen. How about you?
Man, he's up there, man. I know people really debating how soon they're trying to make that ranking. I
Right, right.
think I think it's very valid. He's shown
Mm,
that 'cause man he's 7'2", right? I think. But
right,
anyway, he played 1 through 5. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He can
man.
pass. And then like he's very fundamental. Like I said, like, he passed like magic. He dribbled like Chris Paul in his prime. He can shoot like
Man,
dirt. He got Tim Duncan moves around the back. Like yeah, he definitely the best. I think he better than Embiid right now. Embiid got
man, for sure.
MVP.
Oh man, for sure, man. I
He
mean,
got
dude,
MVP.
I'm be real with you, man. Like, even just
He
being like
better.
a basketball fan, what I saw him do offensively in the
Ooh,
finals,
yeah.
it was a masterclass, man. Like, he get the ball, Miami come to trap him, he made the right pass every time. He was like, oh,
He
boop,
does.
oh, I see old boy right there. He wild open. Like,
And you know, fun thing about it, he always thinking the game. Like I know when they tried to double him, he just said,
mhm.
"Okay, they double." Him. He walk his man down. Say it might settle a good down screen. He probably get the ball. He ain't even worried about them doubling him pretty much. Cause he
Nah,
know he gonna find his other guys out there, like you said. I'm like,
yes,
see,
sir.
that's somebody who knows the game. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But yeah,
But
man. So, bro, yeah,
yeah,
man.
I think man, Denver might be able to run it back. They might.
Hey, as constructed, I can't say that they won't run it back. I'll just leave it at that. As constructed, why
I mean,
they,
they
yeah.
got they have a well balanced team too. They don't have no egos over there.
Oh,
Everybody just clicking. And then
yeah,
like
man.
Coach Malone said during the parade, he said, "Look, I'm bringing all my guys back." Cause he was talking about Bruce Brown. He had ended his
Mhm.
rookie deal. He said Bruce ain't
Right,
going nowhere. He said I'm bringing all my guys back.
man. And you know what though? Even like watching that Denver team, man. Like even though Joker is the best player, like even watching Miami as well. Like I got a valuable life lesson just from watching Miami's run, and I'm pretty sure, and like it's something that's gonna stick with me for the rest of my life. Like Miami came into this thing a play-in team, but they went into all these series with confidence,
They
and they
did.
just played like, "Hey, we on the same court, we got on the same shorts,
Mm-hmm.
we shooting the same basketball." And
They do. They do.
Miami's run just reminded me, like, man, just have self-confidence in whatever lane you in, man. Just believe in yourself, man, and just keep going. Don't worry about don't watch the seeding or the scoreboard. Just keep going,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I think.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Keep
like
going. Go ahead.
Denver's role players showed me this too. When it's your turn to get in, hit big shots, be ready, stay ready.
Yeah. Now. They all of them did that. All of
Mm-hmm.
them. From Christian Brown to KCP, Jeff Green, all them guys just they filled in as needed.
Filled in.
They didn't worry about they it's like that. They know who the stars are. Joker,
Right.
Jamal Murray. But they like, so what? I'm just gonna get in here and play, and they having fun too. They play for each other.
Right.
You can see that, like, they all get along well. It ain't nobody bumping heads or nothing. That's important. That's
Right.
very important, man.
Hey, collaboration, man. They ain't competing
Yeah,
with each other, man. Like they on
yeah.
the same sheet of music, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just what you just said is just that's another life lesson, man. Like we get so much farther, and I'm speaking for us as Black people just in general because I'm Black,
Uh-huh.
and I can speak for us. Like we'll
Right.
get so much farther collaborating, man, having conversations instead of competing
Yeah.
because we see other communities, they get it. It's time for us to get it, man. Like just
Whew.
collaborate,
And
man. And that's just my opinion. I don't
no,
want nobody
no,
saying
no.
that's self-hate. No, it's not. I just
Nah,
observe things a little
it's
differently.
no hate at all. And I guess, like, what has to happen to make all of us get on the same sheet of music here? I see that we making steps forward from where we used to be, but I'm wondering, like, because of what I'm still seeing, we don't gotta see nobody do better than us. That bothers us. If our
Right.
friend get a better job than us or drive a better car than us, man, that
Mhm.
bothers us. They gotta, oh man, he ain't gonna last in that job. They make all kind of crazy comments, and they
Right.
show it. They show it, man. I'm just like, dude, like, I mean, like, how can we be on the same team if, like, we can't work together? Can't work together, or you don't relay proper information to me to be successful in my job. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've
And
seen that. I've seen it.
I mean, to be honest with you, and to answer that question, how can we get better? We have to individually be the change that we want to see. We have to be trailblazers in our own right in terms of not being gatekeepers, being willing to share
Mm,
information. Like you
mm,
and I, we've shared information,
yeah,
and pretty much we just have to. I don't know in terms of getting everybody on the same sheet of music. I look at it like this, man. It's a huge elephant. We got to eat the elephant one chunk at a time. We got to do it.
uh,
We got to build it brick by brick, and we just got to continue to just collaborate and continue. We just got to be the change we want to see, man. Because that's what
mm-hmm,
I'm doing. Like any piece of information that I
yeah,
can learn, I learn
mm-hmm,
about podcasts, and you best believe I'm gonna hit you up like, hey man, check this out, try this out, because
yeah.
dog, competing, man, like it's time out for that. Because man, it's exhausting trying to could be honest with you. The
It
thing
is.
about
It is like,
collaboration, yeah, like
mm-hmm.
the thing with collaboration is you get new insights, new perspectives. Because if you're trying to do everything yourself, you can't do everything yourself, man.
You
You're gonna
can't.
burn yourself out.
You really can't. I mean, 'cause you'll recognize, man, days will go by and you haven't been out the house yet. You haven't ate.
Right.
Like, it just, and then on top of that, it drains you, your energy, your money, your resources. Just do it all by yourself. I'm saying.
Exactly.
And it's like, man, like, when you go out there and meet good people that you can trust, like,
Right.
lean on them, ask them.
Ask them.
Yeah.
Ask the question, man. Like just ask. Like
Oh
that's how
man,
we.
that's the question. Man, like, that's probably like my number one motto outside of shoot your shot. Just ask the question.
Hey, just ask the
Just ask.
question. But
Just
see, the
ask.
thing is, when you ask somebody for something, make sure you have something in place to return to them. Make sure it's mutualism at the same time. Like that's something else with collaboration. Like you just can't go say, "Hey, give, give, give." You have to bring something to the table as well. Like just in terms
Yeah,
of, "Hey, man, I see you over here in this space doing this with the podcast, man. I can you give me some insight on how you do that? And I also see where you could be doing this, but I got game on that. I can give you insight on how to do this. That's how you should do it. Like it should always be it should be always mutualism, man. So that's how collaboration really. That's how
yeah,
it grows and that's how it becomes great, man.
yeah. I agree, man. Dude, man, thanks for all your time today, man. I really enjoyed this, and we gonna definitely set up some more episodes and events and all that good stuff. But let's roll about here, man. Looking at the clock, what time is it?
Man, it's right now.
It's right now, live on Right Now Radio. That's episode 29 with Gumptown Podcast. We're signing out, y'all. Yes, sir.
Already.